Okay. Good evening, Pete. Good evening to you, Pete. Good evening, or good afternoon, or good night if I don't see you, DJ. Good afternoon. Hmm. Hmm. We'll be on shortly. Hmm. Yeah, he's in custody, all right. Welcome back, Pete. Welcome back. Good to have you. Okay, so I have this in order. In order. So, guys, we gotta stay strong because right now I just got a thunder lightning. I just got a thunder lightning. They hit the tower, the antenna. They hit the antenna, so you know what it is when you drop too much. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the Watch Market Update Show, and much, much more as well. We cover many, many things in this channel, right? Before we get into the show, I'm gonna ask all of you to please give us a thumbs up, and give us a thumbs up. Give us two, three, whatever, four, five thumbs up, so this channel could keep on exploding. Exploding the way it is, because this is all natural. There's no artificial in this channel. Everything is natural. We're changing the names around now, so natural, natural juice, you know. We're not going to use that other word because we get power lightnings, power, and so I ask all of you to please, cooperate with the channel, cooperate, We're thinking that maybe we need, we need more sophisticated equipment so we don't get those attacks, because when I say attacks, it's natural, lightning, thunder. You gotta be careful. So I'm just letting you guys know what's going on. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, 2, 3, 4, 5, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. You will not regret it. There's no channel like this one out there. As a matter of fact, there's no more channels. They can't flim-flam you and fleece you no more since I came around. And today I'm coming blazing again, just to let you know what's going on. I did a live, an emergency live, a couple of days ago, and it was very powerful what I threw out there. I threw something out so strong that I can't even rerun it. How's that? I can't even do a rerun how strong it was. But just to let you guys know, all right? Anyway, to you out there who are into precious metal, materials like gold, the price of gold, is at $3,681. Just to let you know what's going on. And this one, which I've been telling you people out there, don't fall asleep. Porque atrás del oro viene la plata, Behind the gold, silver's coming, They're ahead of them, running with them, And silver, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe this, but silver is at $43 a troy ounce. Silver, papi. Silver was at 10, 11, 12, 17, 18. And then the highest 22. I'm telling you, I'm breaking up because I'm getting, they're throwing me thunder lightning to my antenna. So let me tell all of you something. If we, for whatever reason, the thunder lightning freezes, us like ice, I will have to shut down the whole TV network and put it again, just in case you see that happens, Papi, because, those thunder lightnings, they're unbelievable. They work perfectly. They dismantle you, You saw what happened. I told you this, and I'm going to tell you again, ladies and gentlemen. When you're out there in Broadway, and you are in the square in Broadway, or in a village somewhere, and you're in a square, and you're with one of those horns, and you are, delivering the word of the day for free, and nobody listens to you, there's no problem. But the moment you have 10, 12 people start listening to you, they start, things start happening. And I explained to you this because I don't believe many of you understood that, but life works in mysterious ways, and you saw what happened to Mr. Charlie, Charlie, unbelievable that Charlie, unbelievable that Charlie. I can't say enough of him. And for him saying the truth and voicing out his feelings, you saw what happened. And I'm going to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, that I was taught this by my father. And he sat me down and he told me this always. He tells me this, and I still have it in my heart, Killing the messenger will never kill the message. You understand me? If you don't know about that, that's your problem. But I'm giving it to you, and you should write it down. You understand me? And I'm saying this because killing the messenger will never kill the message. Palabras grande, papi. Palabras grande. And I'm hurt. I'm hurt deeply. I'm hurt deeply, and I'm saying that today, to honor Charlie. To honor Charlie, because I explained to you people that what I do, I voice out all this to you, it's not supposed to happen. It's not supposed to happen. And especially the way I do it for you people, for free, you know? So it's not supposed to happen because the rest of them, are putting big ones, putting big ones, and I'm coming around and I'm doing this to them. So I don't know if you guys understand me. I have to give you words in subliminal and you read between the lines and all that good stuff because I have to, because if not, they will throw me one of those thunder lightnings and they don't miss. Let me drink a little juice because I'm a little bit, I'm a little bit nervous. And this just relaxes me. That's wonderful, Mr. Donald, that you got me. And I like that. I appreciate that. But I want you guys to don't forget that. And the same thing that happened to Charlie, it can happen to me in a different format, but it can happen to me. You understand me? It can happen to me. I don't think, 250 yards they're gonna hit me, but they can hit me with a thunder lightning, and dismantle the whole operation of our, recovering tomato cans, and this is what it is. I have to say things the way they are, and I'm gonna say this again because I know, you guys are here. You guys want to hear, knowledge and things in life. I did an unbelievable live stream. Mr. Donald showed me to say live stream, so I'm using the word live stream. Sweet Kid Kino's not here today. I'm all alone, so I can, I'm gonna run this show the way I want. But I did an unbelievable show for you people out there a couple of days ago. I don't know. Yes, I don't know when it was. I don't even know. I forgot when it was. But it was an unbelievable show, and I really gave you and I poured my heart out to you guys, and I explained to you about many things. And Papi, for some reason, that rerun cannot happen. Just to let you know. Just to let you know what's going on. Just to let you know. And this is not Mickey Mouse. This is not no BS. Papito, right through. This is square business. That message of mine was too powerful. Too powerful. And I didn't say a single bad word, nothing. I just explained to you how things are. So, this live stream, I'm dedicating it to Charlie. Unbelievable that Charlie. Unbelievable. My heart aches for him. And I'm sure that many of you, your hearts ache, when you see what social media was doing. It was the most disgusting thing I have ever seen. People celebrating the passing, the assassination of someone. It was ugly. And I'm going to tell all of you in a very, very nice way, don't. There's no need to become that way. There's no need. If you have a difference, you have a difference, and that's it. Pero coño, no así, not like that, We'll be talking about Charlie throughout the whole live stream, but I want to tell you something else about the watch industry, ladies and gentlemen. Rolex, their grip on buyers. Rolex's grip on buyers is loosening. It's loosening as retailers are chasing buyers. You understand me? They already are loosening up already. Let the watches go. And ADs are calling people for watches. I don't want to hear that you haven't received a phone call. I'm just going to say that's your problem. But many people are getting phone calls. And I'm talking about many people are getting phone calls. No sean lambones. No sean palomos. Don't be mashuganas. People already getting lots of phone calls. 5 to 10 times more than a year ago. People are getting phone calls for this watch, for that watch, they're getting phone calls. You know, they're letting go of all the dog with fleas. Let them go. You know? And then the funny thing is now that you people that wanted all those watches now are saying, I'm not interested in no more. I'm buying now an Omega. I'm buying now a Panerai. I'm buying now a Hublot. Because that's how society is. Now, they know already. They're loosening up, you know? They had it real tight. Loose it up. Let it go. Because people are going to different brands of watches. You need to know this. And I have to tell you. So when you hear the phone ring, you go, man, that Puerto Rican, he said it. They're loosening up, papi. La situación está jodida. There's no money out there no more. I gotta keep on emphasizing que la situación está jodida. You know, I keep on telling you that gold is going all the way up. All the way up. And gold is moving every day all the way up, papi. All the way up. You know, the world is upside down. The world is upside down. And all these bankers are just cashing in, Bobby. All these bankers are making so much money on us. It's not funny. It's not funny. You might think it's funny, but man, se la están metiendo a todo el mundo. Everybody's getting it deep. Everybody. So you guys need to be aware of what's happening. You cannot continue being crumb bums, sandbags, you know, window lickers, tomato cans, crayon eaters. You cannot continue. Listen to me. There's no more shows out there. If you're looking for those fake content shows, eso se terminó, papi. Eso se terminó. There's no more lollipop suckers out there. You guys have been awakened already. We have given you the prescription of what's happening. You know, we have been giving it to you for a while already. And I'm telling you, things are looking color de hormiga. Exactly. You know, eso se terminó. Eso se terminó. And you guys have to put on your, you know, your los canzoncillos cagados. You know, if you don't understand what I say, you Google it. Because I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to be babying you no more. No more babying here, you know? No more. You saw what happened to Charlie. You saw what happened to Charlie. Charlie was just saying what he felt, what he wanted to say. And for saying that, you know what happened, you know? You know? Killing the messenger will never kill the message. The message is already out there, already, papi. There's going to be a big movement now. Now you're going to have a big movement out there now. You know, 31 years old, 2 children, unbelievable faith, you know, crazy, you know, it's crazy what I'm trying to explain to you people out there. It's really, really crazy. And we're living times that it's incredible. You know, I couldn't believe the way these people were jumping and celebrating somebody's, you know, Mr. D, help me out with the word, man. Help me out with the word, Mr. Donut. Help me out with the word, Thurston Howard III. Pete, help me out because I'm afraid, you know, it might, you know, it's unbelievable, you know, that's unbelievable. What happened to this country, man? What happened to it? Where are we at? You know, listen, I respect everybody's beliefs, but you know, assassinating somebody because you can't beat them. Come on, man, you can't beat them, and because you can't beat them, you know, I can't believe that T-shirt is crazy. That's sad, man. It really is, and it's not it's crazy, you know. Like I spoke to you the other day. It's incredible that that young lady that she was over there in Charlotte as well, and you know, she was just walking the streets after working a shift as a waitress, you know, in a pizza parlor, you know, and she came looking for the American dream, and she sat in that train, and you know, and she does what millions and millions of Americans do in the States, you know, look at their phone, look at their social media, and you know, it's incredible that somebody does this to you and you still have those seconds left. You know, you have seconds left before you depart to the open arms and hands of the Lord, you know? Whatever Lord you believe in. You know, I don't whatever Lord you believe in. And this person looks at this person, you know, her last seconds of life. But then again, you go back. How is it that you appoint judges that never study one single day to become a lawyer, or study nothing, and they just appoint you to be a judge? You know, this person that did this crime, he was in jail, you know, I don't know, 12, 15, 17, 18, I don't know. You know, it was unbelievable, you know? Exactly, TV judges, correct. Gracias grande, you know? You know, so you tell me that you know, you didn't study one single day to become a judge, but you have been appointed by you know, by the Warris fat bastard, you know, he put you there, and then you let this infection, you know, this infection in the corner of your nail loose to do this, you know. It's incredible. While lawyers have to study in law school, and after they study law school, they have to take a, you know, one of those exams. I don't even know how to call it no more. I forgot. I don't even want to remember no more. I think it's called the bar exam, right? Something to that. And they have to pass it, you know, to defend you. But the judge, you just been appointed. The world's upside down, man. The world. And let me clarify something, please. I don't want you to think that that's every state that does that. You know, it's quite a few of them that do that. You know, I believe some of the states you have to, you know, you got to be a lawyer to be appointed to be a judge. But in this small town America, you know, small town America, I mean, esta gente son el diablo. You know, you're gonna be the judge now in the case of that, you know, gentleman that killed that young lady in the train. Oh, man, papi, no joda, no comas mierda. This is why these people they're syphilis. You know, they're syphilis. It's all right. That's all right. There's nothing big with that. I'm gonna stop telling you people to. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna stop. I'm doing this today because I'm alone. Because if Kino's here, he told me you can't do that. But I'm gonna stop telling you people to subscribe to the channel and give me a thumbs up. Eso yo no lo voy a hacer más ya. You know, I don't care about doing that no more because this channel is, you know, I will have to step down because I don't want to keep on voicing out in the square and telling you what's going on, and you know, and I don't want that no more. You know, I want to continue my life. I live a very peaceful life. You might think I'm laughing and making jokes. I live a very peaceful life, you know. I eat my ice cream every once in a while, eat my salad, you know, drink some of this jungle juice that my wife has me on a diet. I'm happy, you know, I'm content. I'm content. But it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give you a watch market update because I can't be talking too much because, you know, something is going to happen, you know. It already happened. I want you to know this. You know, it just happened like around 10 minutes ago. It just, you know, it went ice, you know, iced out, you know, completely ice. And I looked at my watch, and it took like around, I don't think many people noticed it, but it took like around 2 minutes to come back again because this is what it is, you know. I feel like I'm Charlie, you know. I feel like I'm Charlie, you know, and it's unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go into a watch market up there, right? Ladies and gentlemen, our first watch of the afternoon is a Rolex stainless steel oyster perpetual pistachio. You know, green, 41 millimeter, you know, 134, 300, with a retail price of $6,650. Don't pay for that watch, and all these watches are dropping faster than Bill Clinton's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse, right? They're dropping. No matter what they tell you, the watch market is dead. No matter what they tell you, you know, no matter what they tell you, the watch market is dead. And I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more than $10,900 and dropping, you know. I want you guys to know something, because I've been watching that kid for some time. And I always said, man, this young kid has, you know, he has something around him that is unbelievable. I saw that this kid talking to the best, and he would chew up the best in a very elegant way, you know? And I always said these words, and I'm gonna tell all of you today, and all of you out there in, you know, social media world, he would have been one day, maybe in 2032, you know, something to that, because he's like 31 years old, he would have been the president of this country one day. That I will tell you, you know. If some of you disagree, that's nothing big. Disagreeing is nothing big. I disagree with my wife every other day. You know, I disagree with her, you know. My wife, I love her, and I disagree with her, you know. So what it is, it's part of life. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, killing the messenger will never kill the message. You know, my father taught me that. My father told me that. And it's true. You know, and I have been able to reflect in the last 48 hours, and, you know, and it's sad. It's sad. You know, it's sad. Our next watch is the Rolex Yellow Gold Oyster Flex Daytona with a meteorite dial. Yellow gold. Unbelievable watch. Reference number 116518. LN. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you, you do whatever you want. I'm coming ripping today. I'm coming for the jugular. I'm coming for the jugular, papi. Me siento, papi, que le rompo la cicatriz a cualquiera. If you didn't understand what I said, I don't care. I'm not going to tell you. Your problem. Don't pay for that meteorite. I'm disgusted, guys. I'm disgusted. Don't pay for that Oyster Flex Daytona meteorite dial yellow gold. Don't pay more than $66,000 in dropping. You know, I got to be very, very careful with the droppings. I'm respecting today, Charlie. It's all about Charlie today. It's all about Charlie. This one, probably I won't be able to rerun it either. I won't rerun it either. I won't, you know. Solo que hay, pai. Solo que hay. Solo que hay. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is M, B, and F. You know, split escapement. You know, the evil, the Beverly Hills edition. Beverly Hills edition. 25 pieces were made, ladies and gentlemen. I'm on fire today. I'm on fire. Don't pay for that M, B, and F. I mean, you do whatever you want, but don't pay for that split escapement. You know, evil Beverly Hills edition. 25 pieces made. This is what this is, the This is the Charlie Watch Market Update podcast today. I'm on fire today. I'm dedicating this show to Charlie. If you don't feel comfortable hearing the name Charlie, lárguese pa' casa el carajo. ¿Qué le parece? ¿Qué le parece? Lárguese, deep, bicep. I come to give you the truth. I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, It doesn't matter if I do like him or I don't like him. What I don't like in reality is what they did to him. What they did to him. Don't pay for that MB and F. You know, don't pay more. You do whatever you want, but don't pay more than $77,000 and dropping. The watch market is dead. Mr. Donut put there $120,000. All those watches are dead in water. Dead. 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 Cojonado, mano. Today's about Charlie, man. Don't pay more than $77,000. You do whatever you want with your money. You do whatever you want. I don't feel good today, guys. I feel sad. You know? I feel sad. I remember my father. I remember Paco. You know, Paco Gambino. That's how it is, papi. They'll slaughter you. They'll slaughter you for saying the truth. In general in life, you can't be saying the truth. You're a bad person for saying the truth. You see me? I'm a bad person because I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this. It's just me against all of them. Don't you understand that? Haven't you figured that out yet? It's me against all of them. You know, you haven't figured it out. It's me against all of them. You know, you got all these people. Bobby, they're not doing nothing. They don't have no more content left. Listen to me. They can't bullshit you no more, man. They can't. Los tengo cogido. They can't. The cat is out. The cat is out. The cat is out, Bobby. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Rolex Yellow Gold Green Dial Sky Dweller 42 millimeter Oyster Flex. Reference number 336238. You know, unbelievable watch. Retail price is $47,100. You do whatever you want. But nobody has money out there. You know? If you're rich, that's a different story. But the rest of it, you know what the percentage of rich and the percentage of people that live, you know, a very, you know, humble life is like this and then like this. No sea lambone, papi. No sea lambone. You know, I've been spreading the news, man. I've been spreading the news for the last 3 years. You know, I'm like a big hemorrhoid. You know what a hemorrhoid is? Google it if you don't know. Google it. You know? Hemorrhoids. I'm like a hemorrhoids. Ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that Green Dial Sky Dweller 42 millimeter. Reference 336238 Oyster Flex. $47,100 is the retail price plus your Uncle Sam's tax. Don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Don't pay more for that Sky Dweller with a green dial, yellow gold. Don't pay more than $53,000. Don't pay more than 53. Don't pay more, papi. Don't pay more. Don't pay more. You show him the cash. Cash is king. Cash is king. There's no money out there, papi. There's no money. There's not even credit card limits out there left no more. No more. All those credit cards are maxed out. They're all maxed out. They're all maxed out. Wow, you said 53 is what I said, DJ. I mean, you do whatever you want. It's what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm also going to talk to you about a watch that these people are banking on these watches like there's no tomorrow, but I'm here to give you the truth and nothing but the truth. This is the Rolex Rose Gold Land Dweller, 40 millimeter, you know, with a diamond bezel. The Land Dweller Rose Gold, 40 millimeter with a diamond bezel, you know, diamante, diamond. And ladies and gentlemen, since I know most of you don't know this, the retail price of that watch is $106,150, you know? And it's the one with the diamond, you know? Not only is it rose gold, you know, with the white, you know, turkey mesh dial, you know? Gold is king. But listen to this retail price. So you So you understand that I always told you that Rolex wanted with these models of the Land Dweller, do that crossover with the Pateks, Patek Philippe's, the AP, that nice, clean, straight line finishes. And they're asking for that watch to retail again $106,150. There's people out there asking for that watch. They're asking for that watch $130,000, 135, 127, 125, 119. And I'm gonna tell you, because I'm stupid just like that. I am stupid, and I love to be stupid just like that. Don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Let me give you the retail, the reference number of this watch is the 127385T as in Tom, B as in boy, R as in run. A gentleman by the name of Christopher just put there $88,000. And I'm gonna be kind enough to say that I'm happy to hear that Christopher is saying that kind of a number. And I'm gonna tell you, don't pay for that watch because I'm stupid like that. Don't pay for that watch more than $94,000 and dropping. I appreciate the price you put up there, Chris. You are in the right path. The watch market is dead. You can do whatever you want. I say it like it is. These people, I want all of you to know something as well. This coming Monday, there will be a big convention show here in Miami, Florida. I won't be in the show because I'm gonna be out of circulation. I'm gonna be out of circulation. But to you, if you are in Miami, Florida, and you want to go to that show, you just use this code, el código, this code. You just use Juan and Kino. You say Kino and Juan and Kino, they let you in. That's all you need to do. You say Juan and Kino, and you go right in the door. I mean, we have that kind of muscle. Today, I'm dedicating this show to Charlie. If that bothers you, Bison, you can leave. I can stay here with one organic subscriber. I don't care. This is the way I feel, and that's how it is. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Rolex Rose Gold Daytona meteorite dial, completely meteorite dial, reference number 116505. And this watch, ladies and gentlemen, don't get scared. If this watch in the Corona beer era, this watch went all the way up. All the way up. I could imagine those people with all those millions of dollars just giving money away like unos lambones, unos palomos. It was all the way up to $285,000. We're talking about fully rose gold, bracelet, casing, meteorite dial, una loquera, una loquera. And I'm gonna tell you, if you're looking at that meteorite dial, you do whatever you want. As a matter of fact, I want to see somebody put a number of how much am I gonna tell you not to pay for that watch. This is it. This is the Charlie Watch Market Update show today. The podcast. I think Mr. Donut told me it's not podcast, it's the live stream. So I'm just letting you know. Does anybody know what I'm going to tell you not to pay for that Rolex Rose Gold Daytona meteorite dial, reference number 116505? Anybody know? Any takers? Come on, don't be afraid. Come on, say it. Do whatever you want. Do it. Come on, don't be afraid. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Christopher, for that super chat. Thank you very much for the super chat. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. It just, it motivates me to keep on giving you, all these live streams. Thank you again very, very much. Thank you so much. Don't pay for the Rolex Daytona. Yet rose gold, meteorite dial, reference number the 116505. Don't pay. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more than $89,000. And I can't. Not today. This show is for Charlie. I can't do that. I can't. I have to be respectable, you know? I cannot do that. So you know what that is. Ladies and gentlemen, I have another watch here. It's the Patek Philippe. Patek Philippe, it's unbelievable. Nautilus. The 3710. 3710. Comet. 42 millimeter. Black dial. Roman numbers. Power reserve. I think this is one of the most undervalued, underappreciated. I think it's a monster of a watch. A monster of a watch. 3710. Stainless steel, the black dial, Roman numbers, power reserve, 42 millimeter. Tremendo reloj. And for some reason it tries to go up and then it goes back down. And I'm telling you, this is a beautiful looking watch. And I'm going to tell all of you, don't pay for that watch. I believe that we have a subscriber who wanted to purchase this watch. I think it was Mr. Fiore. Mr. Fiore. Even has a date. Don't pay. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more than $52,000 in dropping. Okay? Just letting you know, there's no money out there. Listen to me, there's no money out there. I spoke to you the other day that there is an attack on trying to revive this watch brand that is dead in water. And the name of the watch brand is Richard Mille. You know, and you have those two gentlemen out of California, you know, those two brothers that were taught well by their, father, the night at the Roxbury. Oh man, this is good. Okay, they're there, good. Thank you, wow. Boom! Thank you guys for being back. Thank you. Thank you so much, Andy, for that super chat. Very, very appreciated. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. This is the watch market update for Charlie. Dedicated to Charlie. Thank you very much. We were talking about, I don't know what we were talking about because I got a thunder lightning that hit me and I had to get, I had to get the system back together. So do I. Love, such a way. Guys, I don't know if you guys got to see the video of him, saying his last word, but man, it was scary, man. I have to think that anybody that receives that kind of like the young girl from Charlotte to Charlie. But you know what the crazy thing is, and I'm sorry that I'm bringing this up because today I feel I still feel real confused. They put down now 3 pictures. Do you know this? Does anybody know what are the 3 pictures they're putting out right now? The 3 pictures they're putting out. And it's so sad, that you see that because these were 3 lives, they have been lost. You're talking about George Floyd, which I had it was very painful to see George Floyd, what he went through. And then you had the young lady from Charlotte, and then you have Charlie, and it's incredible, what's happening, and I'm telling you, I do this because I'm I'm in my house, but guys, don't be out there doing any kind of any kind of debates because it could get you, it could get you hurt. I'm gonna put this because I don't have no more battery here on my phone. So please bear with me. There you go. I got some battery now. What a confusing week. At least for me, it is very confusing. Right? Very confusing. Our next watch, ladies and gentlemen, it is a Patek Philippe Rose Gold Nautilus. Fully rose gold, 5980. Beautiful watch. Chrono, the 5980. One of the most beautiful, watches out there. To be honest, it's a beautiful watch. But this is the one that's a collector's choice, a collector's dream, a collector's unit, all that good stuff. Collector's grade. And people pay for that watch, ladies and gentlemen. It's disgusting. People ask me today, I made the biggest mistake. If I had all that money today that I spent it on that watch, I would have put it all on gold. And that's how it is. There's a lot of people out there saying, man, I made a big mistake. I made a big mistake. And I'm going to tell all of you guys, for real, you gotta be smart. I'm telling you, I'm gonna take the heat to tell all of you that I really don't think that I think maybe those Pateks, which are real complex complications, chrono, all that good stuff, maybe yes, but coño, look at this gentleman. When I see people like that, like Christopher right now said $153,000, right? He said $153,000. And I'm going to make it simple for all of you so we don't have no more problems because Christopher said 153. And I'm going to tell you because I'm stupid just like that, don't pay for that watch. Don't pay for that watch more than $156,000. That's unbelievable. When somebody's saying that 153, you know what's happening, my papa. Is it at 153? No, it's going to be under 153. It's going to be under 153. It will be under 153. I'm telling you what it is. I'm not here blowing smoke up your rear end. No, it's going to be under that. But I have to give it to you the way it is. I have to give it to you the way it is. If you go, any of you go with a stack in your pocket, or you go with your magic button, beep, 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 and you tell them, I pay you for that watch, 142, they'll give it to you. There's no money out there. There's no money out there. The SBA days are over. The PPP days are over. The government grants are over. The free money, the free government money has dried up. And they're coming for you guys. BlackRock is coming for you. Blackstone is coming for you. JP Morgan is coming for you. JP Morgan is the #1 bank right now at this moment. JP Morgan, right now. 151, Christopher saw one. JP Morgan, the Bilderbergers, the Rothschilds, Knights Templar. You need to watch the movie The Flaw. You need to watch the movie The Flaw so you can see a movie that's going to open your horizons to understand what they're doing to us. And all those houses in the west coast of Florida, Naples, Sarasota, Fort Myers. You understand me? All those houses there, they're picking them up. They're picking them up. They're picking them up for Mr. Donut. Help me out, Mr. Donut. Man, they're picking them up for 25 cents to the dollar. These people are unbelievable what they're doing to all these people. And all these people that have condominiums in Hollywood, in Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale, and they've been living there, and now they told them they have to pay an insurance because now they got to fix the building, and the building costs $100,000 a unit. People don't have that kind of money. La situación está jodida. La situación está jodida. And what do they do afterwards? You don't have the money, sir? Well, here's $35,000. Get out of here. Kiss. You know, this is the way they're treating us, Papi. They're treating us like crumb bums. They're treating us like sandbags. Those people want to live the last final years of their life happy. You know, it's unbelievable what's happening. It's incredible. But I told you this, and I'll tell you again. Those two buildings, you know, by 57th and Collins that went down, those were the poster child buildings to do this to everybody. Everybody. Papi, there's gonna be buildings here by the government, renting out by the government. All those people that take out, they're gonna rent them in the how do you call that, welfare building, Plan Ocho, or you know those plans. So they put you in. That's how it is. It's a business. It's a business, ladies and gentlemen. It's a business. If you see the way those bankers operate, it is the grossest thing I have ever seen in my life. They don't have no Section 8. Section 8. Coño, ese Nelson, he knows about it. Section 8. They become Section 8 and that's it. Their money is safe. Their welfare check comes in, boom, that's it. I'm only telling you what you won't dare to say. I'm saying it. And I'm saying it today in honor of Charlie. Charlie. I'm saying it in honor of Charlie. Because Charlie was saying the truth. And I told you guys, I said to you guys, listen to me. You know, when you start talking in the corner of Broadway with a horn, with a walkie-talkie, you know, and you talk and nobody listens to you, there's not a problem. The problem is the day somebody stops and listens to you. That's when all eyes are on you. And that's what happened. Papi, this is a kid at 31 years old. I think his logo is Turning Point. Can somebody help me out? You know, you get taken out. If you say the truth, you get taken out. This is what happens to a channel like this one. I'm telling you guys the truth, and they'll keep on, no, bombard him. It's what it is. I'm not afraid. If you don't see me no more, it is what it is. He would have been president, 1,000%. He would have been president. But when you say the truth in this world, that's what happens to you. Don't forget these words. They were taught by my father. Killing the messenger will never kill the message. The message now is even bigger now. He's going to become now somebody like a Martin Luther King. You know, like a Martin Luther King. He's going to become like, I'm telling you, he's going to be something like that. Papi, the way, man, I saw that and I was in disbelief, you know, that, and they say that they have somebody, they say they have a young kid. You know, it's what it is. You know it, Andy. You know, you can, you know. And let me tell you something. Whether you're from the blue team or the red team, I don't give a shit what team you belong to. I don't belong to no team. It's the same thing. Red and blue, same old thing. Same old thing. But he was the one. That kid, Charlie, was the one that brought the masses of the youngsters to vote for that guy from Pennsylvania Avenue. You know, I'm just telling you what I know and what I read. And let me tell you, I read a whole lot. You know, I don't have one of those, you know, those degrees, you know, of a lawyer, of a scientist. You know, I'm a machiner, but I read. You know, Paco told me that is the best education you're gonna get, Juan. If you don't finish high school, you read. If you don't go to university, you read. I mean, today is for Charlie, you know? Today is for Charlie. You know, knowledge is power, man. I'm telling you. I mean, I always say, you know, how did they let this man sit there? You know, there's no PVC plastic around him. And I don't know, or where was his? Why didn't his pal friend, send a little army? A little army for him. His pal friend. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, when I saw that plane, I think it's called. I honestly believe that he wanted to send Air Force One, but for many reasons he couldn't do it, and I understand that. But he did the best thing. He sent Air Force Two, and they brought him back to, I believe, Arizona. And when you hear in the when you hear the pilot, welcome home. Our next watch. Wow, incredible, man. It's an FP Jordan chronometer, blue tantalum, 39 millimeter. It's a beautiful watch. Beautiful watch. And I'm going to tell you guys, don't pay for that watch more than $84,000. And I can't. It's Charlie's day. I can't do that today. He did. Listen, I'm telling you guys, there's going to be, maybe I'm the one that it's going to invent it, but there's going to be something, like some of my subscribers today told me that they're making shirts of him, of something of assassination. I don't know if I really understood that well, but they said that, and if I make one, I'll make one, something beautiful, because I mean, a life shouldn't end that way, man. A life should not end that way, and it's sad, and yeah, exactly. In his honor, man, something, because oof, I mean, so anyway, going back, now I'm composed again. When I saw that plane, the Air Force Two, that landed in Arizona, and the pilot said, very, very beautiful words, and he said something to the effect, "Welcome back home, Charlie." Something to that. You really did not deserve that. It really is on you. It was something. I don't know. Did it touch you guys? Because it touched me, and I'm kind of a hard person to get teary eye, and it was touching, to see that, and to see his wife, going down the stairs, I believe with Mr. Vice President Vance's wife together. It was a Jacqueline Kennedy, rerun again, and so, and I do want to say something again. I'm going to say this with the highest respect. I mean, that could have been that guy from Pennsylvania Avenue too. That could have been him too. I mean, so I think they're going to have to tighten up with a lot of security with all this, because the world is upside down, Papi. There's people out there, man, that they scare you. There's I saw girls with pink hair, blue hair. Nothing wrong with that, but all these color hairs, pink, purple hair, and they have a bull ring in their nose. I don't know what's going on. And I don't know. So and this is just, I don't know. Is that like a style of having blue, pink, purple hair, yellow hair? Is that something? Is that a movement? Does anybody know if that's a movement or not? Can somebody tell me? Or I'm just, I'm seeing too many colors, But it is what it is, It is what it is. Let's keep on with our watch market update, dedicated to Charlie, So, ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Richard Mille. Richard Mille, the RM6501 NTPT. I call this the STD, TPT, but it's an NTPT. It's all black, rubber strap, casing is black, everything is black. And I'm gonna tell all of you out there, you do whatever you want. Richard Mille watches are dead. This is a watch that at one moment I don't even want to tell you because it was worth a house, and I'm talking about a very, very, very nice house, And today I'm going to tell you, and it's still pricey, but from where it was to what it is today, it has dropped faster than Billy Boy's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. Don't pay for that watch more than $308,000. All right, the 6501 NTPT. Don't pay more than that. Our next watch is an AP Royal Oak Rose Gold White Dial 41 millimeter chrono, reference number 26240, 50th anniversary. 50th anniversary, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to tell all of you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Remember, this is a 50th anniversary on the rotor that goes around, okay? No sean lambones. Does anybody know what I'm going to tell you to pay for that watch? And this is, it was born completely that way. It was born completely, and it's a 50th anniversary. It was all the way up. All the way up. Does anybody know? Nobody knows. I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that AP Royal Oak chronograph, rose gold. Don't pay more than $82,000 and dropping. You do whatever you want, guys. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a watch that I have talked to all of you, and all of you have all been on point. But since the watch keeps on dropping, I must inform you that it's dropping. We're talking about the Rolex White Gold, with the green dial, with the green ceramic bezel and the black ceramic bezel. Green dial, the Sprite, It's white gold, oyster bracelet. It's unbelievable. Like I say, sometimes, they hit it right and they hit it wrong. But they have two stainless steel Jubilee with oyster, with the green and black ceramic bezel with the black dials. It looks pretty much the same thing as the white gold, but they did that, And we're talking about a watch that the retail price is $48,400. $48,400. And I'm going to tell you, don't pay. You do whatever you want. If you want that watch, you put your hand in your pocket, don't even give it to them like that. Bring it like that. Because these lambones, these infections, they like to see the big one, You bring it, you show it to them. And you tell them that here's what I want to pay you. And you're going to offer them no more than $44,000 in dropping. That watch is dropping faster than Bill Clinton's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. You understand me? You understand me, right? Okay. We're going to continue our watch market update. Today is dedicated to Charlie. It's the Patek Philippe Nautilus, stainless steel, leather strap, the 5126, 40 millimeter, 40 millimeter. Does anybody know what I'm going to tell you? You want this watch with the bells, with all the bells and whistles. You want it with all the bells and whistles. You want this watch. Does anybody know what I'm going to tell you? Does anybody know? Nobody knows? Okay. Not even Mr. Donut? Not even Damon? Nobody knows? Here it goes. Don't pay for that watch. Don't pay for that watch more than $59,500 in dropping. All right, guys? Okay. Our next watch, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Patek Philippe Cubitus. The Patek Philippe Cubitus. White gold, 40 millimeter, fully white gold, casing and bracelet. 7128. Blue dial. Retail price, Thurston Howard, okay. Retail price is 80,000. I can't see that well, $346. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that watch. Don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more than $124,000 in dropping. You do whatever you want, right? You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another watch here for you guys. It is the Patek Philippe white dial, 40 millimeter, 5711, stainless steel. Beautiful watch, white dial, discontinued, collector's choice, collector's grade, collector's whatever, unit, whatever you want to call it, but it's a collector's grade. You do whatever you want. This watch, they were talking $500,000, $400,000, $375, $360. This is a retail price of $34,000. And ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that 5711. Don't pay more than $83,500 and dropping. You do whatever you want. It's your money. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk to you about a watch which is the Vacheron Constantin, this is our last watch. This is our last watch of the day. We're going to be talking about a Vacheron Constantin overseas, white gold, skeletonized. You can see the whole movement of the watch through the front. You can see it through the back. It has on the gauges blue color. And this watch, ladies and gentlemen, it was really, really, really high, really, really high in the price. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want, but don't pay for that beautiful Vacheron Constantin overseas. Don't pay more. And this is an ultra, perpetual calendar. This is a monster watch, but don't pay for this watch more than $113,000 in dropping. Right? There it is. I hope this helps you out. You know what to do. You put this in your arsenal so you can defend yourself from all these flim-flammers. As I told you, this Monday there will be a big watch show here in Miami, Florida. If you want to get into the show, just use our code. Use Juan and Kino. They know who we are. I won't be here because I'll be stepping out of town, right? So you go there, you go to that show, and you can go in there and and listen to me, guys. And I'm gonna tell you something. If you are still calling these watch dealers, if you are calling them, your best bet to get some kind of respect right away, you say, before I'm interested in this watch, I'm interested in this watch. I'm going to give you the way you're going to address this. I am interested in this Rolex watch, but I want you to know before we start talking about, I watch a channel very, very carefully, and the name of the channel is Opusntime. And there are two hosts. One is Kino and one is Juan. If you use that, right there, two things are going to happen. We don't want to talk about this, or they're going to talk to you right away, and you can talk about the prices. I'm letting you know in a serious way. You tell them right away, I watch your show. You tell them first, I watch your show, this show, but there's a show which I love, that I look at it. I look at it with my wife or my son, and it's the name of the show. I don't know who they are. Well, perfect, even better. That's better you don't know who they are. But I have clips of what the prices that he say for the watches. So if you want, I'll send it to you so you can see who it is, and you play with that. You're gonna be treated, with a lot of respect. They're gonna respect you because this is what you look at, what you choose to look at. Listen to me. The rest of the people you're looking at is just hyping among themselves. Don't think for a moment that those prices, you're buying them and I'm buying them. They're buying them. among themselves. I explained to you the way a watch gets to the numbers that it gets to. It's them. They hype it up. You guys need to know this. You know? You know what I'm trying to say, Damon. Help me out. You know what I'm saying. If you don't want to say Kino, you say Juan Felipe Nieves. And that's it. They know who I am. Papi, I've been for 3 years, dándole duro, hitting them hard for 3 years. 3 years. They know who I am. Use it. Use it to your advantage. No sean lambones. Be firm. Be firm. And as a matter of fact, I do believe the prices that he says. That's it. That's what it is. We're not gonna let you, we're not gonna let these people flim-flam you that easy, Enough of you guys buying $17,000 steak dinners. Enough of you guys buying $4,000 sushi dinners. No more Montclair sweaters. Supreme hoodies. Nike, Louis Vuitton sneakers, ripped jeans. No more. It ain't gonna happen, Bobby. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, we lost a big one. We lost a good one. We lost a good one, and it was awful, And let me tell you something. I thought that maybe these people, the ones that disagree with him, because let me clarify myself. You can disagree with somebody's beliefs. That's nothing bad. I'm not gonna think you're bad because you disagree. You can be in this team and you can be in this team. No. But I think that after that, what happened? After that happened, that somebody got, assassin. You would think that those people would feel sorry. But when you're saying, well, somebody had to do it, I'm glad it happened. Where are we living at, man? Where are we living at? This is an American, in American soil. And these estos lambones, Again, I can't talk bad about them, but I'm saying, you guys are telling me that they're making T-shirts and walking around campus, with his face assassinated. Come on, papi, esto no está bien. It's not right, and I hope that you guys don't think that that's right. Sorry, don't think don't think that that's right, please. Don't act that way. It's not a. I'm gonna let you guys go. It was a good show. I was a little bit been a little bit emotional with this situation and the young girl from Charlotte. So yes. I want to thank all of you for being on the show here with me today. I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart. Just you guys being here, it means a lot to me. It does. It means a whole lot to me. It means that you guys are still hearing the channel. It means that you still like the channel, and so it makes me happy. I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart. Really, without you guys, there won't be no show. And I know that I'll make another show in a better spirit way, but I was just a little bit touched, with all these people that what's happening in the world, right? I want to wish all you guys a safe weekend. Stay right, stay smart, no sean lambones, right? No sean lambones, right? And like me and Sweet Kikino will say always to you guys, take care and brush your hair. Thank you very much.